Hello everyone, James Reeves talking about the top 5 rifles from IWA and Enforce Tech in Nuremberg. Concealed handguns, concealed handgun accessories, usually my favorite things to talk about. But other than a couple of minor highlights at the show this year, pistols were not that great. I've already done the top 5 pistols video yesterday, so go ahead and check that out. Tell me if you agree that the rifles that I'm about to list were way better. I'm talking IWA pistols versus IWA rifles, being the equivalent of like New Orleans Saints versus the Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. I've never seen such a disparity in terms of really exceptional guns in one category and bland, kind of new guns in another category, but 2024 is that year. In this list, we've only got next-gen piston operating rifles ranging from compact PDWs to large DMRs. It seems like everyone was kind of competing for the same contracts lately, so there's been a lot of emphasis on modularity and capability, all using piston operating systems. Many of the guns share certain traits. This list might be boring to you guys because of that, but I think it's cool. Before we get started, if you like our content, please support us on Subscribestar at subscribestar.com/TFBTV. Patreon, there are a bunch of anti-gun San Franciscan pussies who won't let us do giveaways, but I give away 6 $250 gift certificates to Top Gun Supply every month to 6 random supporters from our Subscribestar and Utreon campaigns. This keeps us independent. No paid for reviews or any other bullshit like that. Number 5, the Tink Arms Peron X17 and 308. I already have a healthy amount of respect for the Peron. Essentially, the Slovenians put down the bottle for a couple of weeks to slap together a brilliant piston-operated rifle that borrows as heavily as possible from the AR platform. In fact, if you just take a hacksaw to an AR-15 lower, it'll function with a Peron upper. The upper also has parts compatibility with the AR, including barrels and bolts, if I remember correctly. It's a simple design, but it works very well. And my brothers, Ziga from Polinar Tactical and Ian from Forgotten Weapons, 2 guys who I trust, say that this is one solid platform. Last year, we saw the 223 variant. This year, we see the 308 variant. It's kind of a weird hybrid piston operating system with a very simple design. Folding stock, compatibility with many AR-10 parts, especially in the lower. It's well made, it's well thought out. It's number 5. Number 4 is a controversy slot, and this is the most controversial controversy slot pick of all time. First, because this gun's Turkish. Second, because I had to start over the X number of days since someone has threatened to sue me board when I got home from IWA, and it was all over this goddamn gun. The SAR MPT76, essentially you're looking at the official service rifle of Turkey. The Turks claim that this rifle meets or exceeds NATO standards, probably in reference to NATO standard AC-225, which is a bitch of a testing standard. Whether or not the MPT actually meets AC-225 is another story, but I'm going to go ahead and take their word for it for purposes of this video. The original MPT76 was created as the next generation replacement rifle for the G3 in service for the Turkish military. And by the way, big shout out to my buddy Kaya from Classic Firearms for helping me with this video and the history of this gun, which he's fired on a number of occasions. Also, Kaya is a Turkish American, huge celebrity in his home country, funny enough. According to Kaya, the original MPT76 is big, ugly, and heavy, which is a little ironic because my college girlfriend's initials were MPT and my buddy said the same thing about her. Turkey stopped pretending that they weren't making a clone of the HK417 with the original MPT, and they just made a flat-out clone of the HK417 with the lightweight MPT. My picking on Turkish guns on this channel aside, honestly, I would love for this gun to come to the United States from SAR. It'd be really cool. It's a great gun. But the real reason why this is such a controversial pick is because before Kaya showed up, the people at the SAR booth hooked me up with their on-camera MPT expert, some dude who couldn't even operate the standard ping pong paddle bolt hold open, nor field strip the gun quickly when I asked him to. Guys, I want everyone to know it's a huge priority for me to make representatives that get on camera look as good as possible with me because I want them to feel comfortable the next time that I approach them to be on TFB TV. Many of them are very sensitive about their English, almost all of them. And by the way, if you've been banned from commenting on TFB TV videos, which I rarely do, it's because probably you made fun of someone speaking English as a second language on a video. It takes a lot of courage to speak a language you're not familiar with in front of 1.5 million viewers. And I don't want these brave representatives that step up and do this and agree to speak to me on camera to be humiliated because some asshole from Arkansas who thinks Baba Ganoush is a character from SpongeBob is making fun of their accent. That all said, there are exceptions. And that would be if you send someone in front of the camera with me and waste my time, and this dude's got zero fucking clue about the gun and it ends up being also hilarious at the same time, then I hope you have a sense of humor. This guy didn't, because he filed a formal complaint with YouTube, which I appealed, and YouTube found it in my favor. And then, according to some friends who I won't name, he was also threatening to sue me for defamation. Bad news, buddy, but truth is a complete defense to defamation. That said, I still took the video down because it's not worth the trouble. And to show I'm not taking it personally, the SAR MPT76 takes number 4 on my top 5 rifles list. And if someone from SAR sees this and you give me permission to do it, I'll put the video back up and guys, bring the gun over. I'm excited to review it. Speaking of lawsuits, number 3, the Haenel HMR. HK and their arch nemesis, Haenel, both release a side-charging 308 DMR at the show, but I'm going to give the Haenel the number 3 slot over the HK simply because there's another HK higher on this list already. But if anyone wants me to Pepsi challenge these two guns against each other, find 2 of them that I can compare side by side on a range, and I'll come to you for that video. That would be a whole heck of a lot of fun. The HMR or Haenel Marksman rifle is very similar to the HK MR308A6 that was shown at Enforce TAC. It's quite clear that they're competing for the same contract because they're basically the same gun. Piston fired, AR-10 style, AR-10 magazine, 308s, tons of rail, very specifically a left-handed charging handle so the gun can easily be charged with a full complement of optics on top of the gun, something that can be difficult with a T charging handle. Haenel, German-made, high quality, was even selected over HK for Germany's new service rifle. We were set to get Haenel rifles from B&T in the US, and then HK manhandled Haenel. In court, prevailed on IP claims, successfully contending that Haenel copied the 416 design. So all went back to the drawing board for the German military, and I haven't seen any get imported to the US. By the way, I'm not blaming HK for this at all. Protect your IP, do what you gotta do, brother. But it would have been much easier for us to get Haenel in the United States than for us to ever see the equivalent HK rifle. They're super hard to come by, Haenels are. So I was really disappointed when some dude dressed as a sailor in Germany walks up to me and tells me, like, hey, dude, I'll give you Haenel. And I texted him later, and he just sent a bunch of lewd pictures. It was really weird. As I just finished saying, we've got an HK at number 2. The G39 is fucking sick. I would be Wayne LaPierre's Bahamian cabana boy to get my hands on a G39. I would carry a Taurus for the rest of 2024. To get a G39. I would change my name to Mr. Heckler Coke and Balls legally and on all my bar credentials to get an HK G39. The G39, new carbine of German Special Forces, 300 blackout, amazing ergonomics, excellent rail system, wonderful folding stock, custom-made suppressor, Kraut, Space, Magic. I call this color Gilf Gray because it's silver, but it's sexy. In case you can't tell from my review of the MCX Rattler LT, which I actually have right here, something about piston-operated short barrel 300 blackouts with super and subsonic piston settings and suppressors tailored for use with them just pumps my plums. Would you like another pina colada, Mr. LaPierre? Finally, the number 1. I had the honor of firing a prototype of this gun 2 years ago at Beretta's factory in Gardone, Valtrompia, Italy. By honor, I mean it was literally one of the coolest things that I've ever done for TFB TV. The Beretta NARP. By the way, it's not being called the NARP. Dumb name, right? NARP, NARP, NARP. Sounds stupid. It still doesn't even have a name. They just refer to the program as the NARP for their new assault rifle platform. The NARPs essentially become Beretta's answer to the extremely successful MCX, which I have over here. They share many of the same characteristics. I still haven't been able to see the complete internals of a NARP gun, but you're talking about a completely modular short-stroke piston-operated system with one of the simplest and most easy to disassemble piston assemblies I've ever seen. It'll have an adjustable gas system via a paddle, the ability to change caliber, AR-15 magazine compatibility, your option to use side charging handles or AR-15 style charging handles, great trigger, tested by Italian Special Forces and SAS veterans. Sounds like it's going to be MOA-ish or maybe even sub-MOA accurate on top of all that. Although we got to film our complete overview video of this gun at SHOT Show 2024, it was tucked away in a back room for only military customers to see, but it was on full, glorious display at Enforce Tac, and Beretta told us we could publish the video. It might be the most beautiful thing to come out of Italy since the Mona Lisa. When it finally launches, I predict that this could be perhaps the only gun in the industry that'll be any competition to SIG's outstanding MCX platform, which already has a huge head start. So there you have it, the 5 best guns from IWA and Enforce Tac in Nuremberg, Germany. What did you guys think? Did you see anything else that you like better from our coverage? There were some really good guns that I omitted from this list. It's hard sometimes to pick a top 5. So let me know what you liked. Thank you for watching. Take care.